I yield back.
Without objection, I'm going to turn to our witnesses who are the subject of the hearing today, but before I do, and as you have chosen, instead of addressing the hearing to simply attack me, consistent with the President's attacks, I do want to respond in this way. My colleagues may think it's okay that the Russians offered dirt on a Democratic candidate for president as part of what was described as the Russian government's effort to help the Trump campaign. You might think that's okay. My colleagues might think it's okay that when that was offered to the son of the president, who had a pivotal role in the campaign, that the president's son did not call the FBI. He did not adamantly refuse that foreign help. No, instead, that son said that he would love the help of the Russians. You might think it's okay that he took that meeting. You might think it's okay that Paul Manafort, the campaign chair, someone with great experience in running campaigns, also took that meeting. You might think it's okay that the president's son-in-law also took that meeting. You might think it's okay that they concealed it from the public. You might think it's okay that their only disappointment after that meeting was that the dirt they received on Hillary Clinton wasn't better.
Okay, so you heard what he said.
Oh, there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Here's what Adam Schiff is saying. Donald Trump's son took a meeting with the Russians.
Trying to get dirt.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Mr.
What kind of scumbag would do that? Huh? What kind of a scumbag would do that? Talk to Russians trying to get dirt.
That's exactly right. So, Mr. Schiff, knowing full well that you just said it's improper for you to be taking, for Donald Trump or anyone in his team to take a call from Russians looking for dirt, how about, Derek, you got track 2? Let's go with track 2 and listen to Mr. Schiff when he talked to the Russians looking for dirt.
Hi. All right. I'm going to put Mr. Schiff on the phone, and then I guess are you going to transfer him to Mr. Powerby?
Yes, of course.
Great. Thank you.
Hi. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Schiff. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
I know that you work for investigation regarding Trump and Russian government.
Yes.
We know some important information about that.
And that is documented as well in materials you want to provide to us?
Yes. Could I explain you where we are?
Yes, of course. But, again, I would just caution that our Russian friends may be listening to the conversation, so I wouldn't share anything over the phone that you don't want them to hear.
No, I don't think that it will impact on our investigation.
Yes. Well, please, go ahead then.
In November 2013, Mr. Trump visited Moscow. He visited competition Miss Universe, and there he met with Russian journalist and celebrity Ksenia Sobchak.
I'm sorry, can you explain that again? While he was in Moscow in November 2013, he met with a journalist and...
Well, she's poor journalist, but anyway, she became famous because of Putin is her godfather.
Okay, Putin's godfather. Okay.
She also known as a person who provides girls for escort for oligarchs, and she met with Trump and she brought him our Russian girl, celebrity Olga Buzova, who also known as a person with a strange reputation.
Olga, and how do you spell her name?
Olga.
Okay.
So
guilty. That's real. Now, it ended up being that these two guys were pulling up a prank, a hoax on him. But he took the call.
Yeah.
Mr. Schiff, you took the call from Russians who you thought you could get dirt on Donald Trump from. You're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
You're a lying, no good human being because you're trying to hold somebody else accountable to the same thing that you already did as well.
Yeah.
So it's hypocritical. This is nonsense. Adam Schiff should be stepping down, and frankly, he needs to be prosecuted.
He should be on trial.
He should be on trial.
Yes,
it should be him on trial.
Actually, he should be impeached from office. That's the
Absolutely.
ethics committee should be after him. Everybody and his brother ought to be after this guy on all kinds of grounds.
Yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi says I forget what the terms are. Basically, he's doing a great job.
He's doing a lousy job because he's a liar. It's that simple. A liar and a leaker, and he needs to be prosecuted. Now, listener Joanne has texted us and said, I believe Mueller took his time with the report to influence the November 2018 election. You think that's possible? That he dragged it out this long just to get through that 2018?
Yeah.
Right? That makes sense. I mean, you had nothing. and yet you waited another 6 months to let it go because you wanted to get through.
Good point. I hadn't heard that yet, but it makes perfect sense.
Great point, Joanne. Let's take a call from Joe in Wyandotte. Joe, welcome to the show.
Yeah, you guys ended up making the point that I was talking to Derek about making, about Schiff being, apparently Schiff believes in the exact same things. And I think the term you need to use and that we're looking for is the usual psychological projection.
Yes.
I think
Democrats
Schiff
always do this. They always are accusing everybody else of exactly what it is that they do.
Yeah, Schiff is basically he's a Russian agent. He's a pawn of the Russian government.
Honestly, if the Russians were attempting to divide America through this campaign
to destabilize
from 2015, 16, whatever, right through to today, you know who they're colluding with now?
Yep.
Adam Schiff.
Yep.
Chuck Schumer.
Schwalwell.
Nancy Pelosi. They are still dividing and playing this Russian narrative, and the Russians are laughing all the way to the bank because it's hurting us. This continuing beating of the dead horse is hurting us. It's hurting all of us. And it needs to stop. Adam Schiff and Rashida Tlaib right here in Detroit needs to stop with the impeachment crap and start working with Trump and bring home some projects to Detroit.
I'd like to see her get the FEC. I mean, she ran in Detroit while her home was in Dearborn. I mean, that's documented, and yet somehow she gets away with it. You know, a federal elections violation.
The Democrats always get away with it.
The rules don't apply to Democrats. You know that.
What am I thinking? Yeah.
I hear you. What else you got, Joe?
That was it. Thanks a lot. Just thought I'd get in by the end of the show. Thanks. Take care.
It took you all
God bless.
show.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
it took you the whole show. We mentioned your name right at the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I put that line in his speech because Don and I talk constantly. I call him Don.
Okay.
We're on a first name basis, and I said, no matter what your speechwriters say, don't let them take that bull-pucky line out.
Right. Okay. All right. Take care, Joe. Great call.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks. All right. So the border crisis. Let's just stay on that for one last minute here. There is a border crisis.
Yeah.
The Border Patrol, and it's too late to get to that dang track, but we're going to start with it next week.
Someday, some week, yeah.
Well, it's going to be worse this next week. The Border Patrol, they're out of beds, they're out of space, they're released, and it's not the Border Patrol's fault that they're releasing these people.
It's the Democratic legislator.
And
the Republicans who voted with them.
Yeah.
We have a porous border. They're coming up. We're overwhelmed. Here you go. See you later. Bye. We're not even giving them paperwork to come back to courts.
Yeah, it's absolutely. There is a crisis, folks. Don't listen to the Democrats. This is a crisis, and I think the president needs to take every available means to secure the border. It's that simple. All right, till next week, go to thedailydrift.com and support our advertisers at The Current, COURANT online.com, currentonline.com. See you next week.